Welcome, all of my beautiful flashers. If you don't mind, do me a quick favor before we get into the juicy details for this week's Flash Hour, and like, share, comment. If you don't mind commenting, that really boosts the algo. We greatly appreciate that, of course. This week, we will be going over some interesting news, some hackathon-y kind of get together. We'll also be diving into what we got done this week, of course, and what we will be doing the coming weeks. But before that, we allow people to funnel in and we go through the state of the trenches. That just allows people to grab their coffee, take a seat, and of course, enjoy the remainder of the show that they end up catching. So thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and pull in Anas for the start of State of the Trenches. GM, Tom. GM. I'll put the. There we go.
GM everyone. I
How's it
hope
going over there?
Yeah, traveling. Just met with the team at Magic Blocks and shipping. Very interesting stuff. We'll probably dive into it later on. But yeah, with further ado, let's dive into the
So
state of trenches.
State of Trenches. Lots going on Solana. Of course, stable coins is the prevailing narrative recently, so that is going to be a lot of what is coming out. So Cash App is powered by Solana coming in 2026. That'll actually be basically stablecoin related. SoFi became the first regulated U.S. bank to offer SOL trading direct from your checking account. That's did not have that on my bingo card. Figure created a registered public debt security natively on Solana. That's pretty huge as far as the financial sector is concerned. You can see that more sophisticated debt instruments, I guess you could say, are being moved onto blockchain.
Yes, I think the SoFi thing was very interesting, where the banks are just allowing you to buy spot SOL from their app, so it just opens exposure to a lot of more like users and people who are not aware with blockchain tech. So
Yeah,
very interesting.
yeah, it's like SOL being listed on Coinbase all over again. You get direct access. Then Dupe Finance, an AI deal finder. I thought this was cool. I wanted to add it because I actually tested it out. But
How was it? Like I just saw it and it was like, I don't know, it was just for a few times. Like the ranks for App Store work very differently when new apps are launched and the consistent apps are there. So I
Yep.
was not very sure what's going on behind the scene, but yeah, how was the app? What do you
The
get out of
app itself is insanely polished.
it?
I was blown away actually by how well it does.
Mhm.
And then the matching's okay. It'll try to also kind of find you like similar looking things. So like obviously if it can't find the exact thing you take a photo of, and that maybe you want to buy on like Amazon, Wayfair, or whatever. A few of the other ones, Walmart and stuff like that. There's a bunch of different ones you could do. But the other cool part is you can actually go into your favorite app, find something that you like, and just make sure that you're getting like the best deal on it. So you could either find something that like maybe you found somewhere else and you're like, okay, am I getting the best deal? Or you can actually take like a screenshot and then give it that screenshot, and it'll also try to find like the best deal across the board across
But
all these different.
what does it do with Solana? Like what's the angle with Solana then?
I think the angle is just stable coins you could buy with your stable coins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like just an intermediary facilitator that kind of bridges crypto with, I guess you would say, TradFi, or traditional shopping. I don't know what they call that. Incubator opened applications for cohort 4 in New York City. That is Solana. So Solana
Yep.
incubators. That's pretty dope. By the way, who
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
who was a Solana incubator?
Yeah, so this is an interesting project that Solana started right after the FTX crash, where they wanted to, uh, get some interesting developers to build interesting applications which have the highest ROI. And I
Yep.
think Flash Trade and the team at Flash Trade, we were like the first incubies of the Solana cohort 0, I would say. And then they started cohort 1. So in cohort 0, they were just getting started and
Yep.
putting out the plans, and we were like the one team they worked with. And I think we were the only team who worked so long. Like we worked for at least 4 to 5 months with the Solana team.
Yeah.
And now if yeah, yeah, now what I'm seeing is like the period is like 18 days or 15 days at
Oh
the
wow.
NYC offices of Solana. But yeah,
Much
we
shorter.
were more on the offline mode at that time. So we just connected through online calls every day. So yeah.
Sick. All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, I put that in there specifically, obviously, because we were part of the Solana incubator. Solana spot ETFs recorded 14 consecutive days of inflows since launch, which is huge because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but ETH and BTC have like massive outflows. So we are definitely picking up steam. Loopscale, of course, they're our partners, so I have to make sure we call them out. Introduced RWA credit alongside Securitize, which is it actually is just at Securitize on X if you're interested. Starting with Acrid, sure, sounds right. And then I'm sure they'll roll out many, many more. But the other interesting thing that's happened here recently is Harmonic actually demoed it. Their block marketplace. So it's called BlockViz tool for more accessible chain data. So this is pretty cool. It's definitely heating up. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm kind of a pleb when it comes to this stuff, but this is kind of like in direct competition with BAM, or is this like complementary? I'm not
No, it's sort of in direct competition with whatever G2 is building, BAM and
sure.
ACE. So it's more on the side of creating reliable block production systems where apps can specify which transactions go in first, and they
Mm,
all are basically linked to validators. So that's how this systems work. And I think Harmonic is trying to work towards more of an approach that is open to all, rather than where BAM is going with an approach which was more permissioned, where
yeah.
they were onboarding specific people, specific dApps, and then going towards that way. But Harmonic is trying to build a uniform system where anyone can come in, leverage the tech. But we are
Mm,
yet to see, both of the teams haven't shared anything live as of now. Everything is behind the doors and
yeah.
being talked about a lot, but we haven't seen anything fully on prod till now.
Yep. Pretty cool. I'm definitely rooting for him. The more permissionless, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
All right, moving right into. I'll pull the heap up for this one as well. Moving right into the next thing on the docket. See, I had Loopscale up here, but by the way, shout out to Loopscale. We are crushing it on Loopscale. If you even just go to their Loop dashboard, you'll see if you've got my filter by almost anything there, you'll see FLP1 is at the very top. But I did have to call out the team put together an awesome dashboard, Dune dashboard. And
Yep.
yeah, it's really going well. In the order of transparency, we want to make sure that you guys have the same data that we're dealing with, so everything's there for you. And of course, we'll try to add more as time goes on. Maybe if you have some suggestions, something's missing that you find important, please let us know. By the way, you can easily join our Discord and be a part of the discussion. If you are a FAF staker, you also get access to a special channel where that kind of channel is prioritized. But just because I know all of you love the janitor so much, can you share this out so we can get more people in for the big news? Now, trading volume finally breached that 18 billion, so we're 18.13 billion. Total rev share has definitely ratcheted up. We're at 259 distributed to our FAF stakers. And FLP1 is still, if you're on the Dune dashboard, you'll be able to see that FLP1 is outperforming all other markets. That's including BTC, ETH, Sol. So that is very interesting.
And
Now,
with the interesting addition of Zcash, it has also outperforming GLP as well. And now on an monthly basis, FLP is like 5% higher than GLP. So the performance and the price basket itself has becoming very performant, if I may. Yeah.
yeah, very, very good. Like I said, that's why I like looking or having that dashboard, is because it's easy to see. I mean, it's not, the data's clear right in front of your face. So definitely great to have for the community. Now,
Yes.
I put, I kind of did some play on words here, by the way. I
Yeah.
totally changed it. Yeah, Magic Block Hacker House Marathon. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
What's that all about?
So yes, the whole team at Flash Trade and the teams at Magic Blocks have basically flew in right before the breakpoint. Now, all of us have come in the Y, and Magic Blocks have taken an interesting approach, and they've gotten a very interesting villa, and now every day during the daytime we are like literally spending like 6 to 7 hours, all the teams together, and basically going through all the major problems that we as an app has, and just getting to solve it with them right in with the same desks. So very interesting marathon going on, and the idea basically at the end of this week would be to have if a flash trade app working on magic blocks engine, and then seeing how performant we can become, and then if there is anything that is to be done, we would basically lay out the problems and they will try their best to solve. So this is all in the direction of building the fastest decentralized exchange fully on chain, and we'll be posting more information as we work through it. But yeah, definitely the most interesting thing about this is like literally like people from 8 different countries have flew in, and majority of them are flying back before breakpoint, so they just came for this thing. They didn't come for breakpoint. It was so funny for me to realize this thing. So
That's
very
awesome.
very bullish. I think it's a bullish thing that
Oh, for
people
sure.
are more focused on building things than attending events. But yeah,
Hmm.
anyways, breakpoint is it's coming, and it's gonna be very very huge. And I've been in touch with the team who's behind the breakpoint preparation, and yeah, they've spoken very high about it, and even we are preparing a lot of good things for
Yep.
the breakpoint, including since we have a booth and we are getting in very interesting merch, and then we're doing a very interesting competition at the event itself. So yeah, that is also under works as we speak, the breakpoint preparations, and trying to get all the merch from different places to Dubai. Yeah, it's a bit hectic, but yeah, we have a great team and people are following up as we speak.
Yep.
Next up is, yeah, although I'm sure a lot of people might have noticed, when you type in flash trade you just get to the dashboard. So we did had a landing page before and we deprecated it because it wasn't kept up as we wanted, but now finally we do have a very neat landing page that has been being worked on for more than 3 months, I think. So it's taken its sweet time, and we have try to iterate on how it should look, and make it more as experimental as possible. I think, Max, you can even open it if you want. Like I've
Sure.
just posted the link. Okay, I can just DM you if you want.
Yeah, dim
You
it
can
to me.
just,
I'll pull it up right
yeah,
now.
just DM you.
Awesome.
You can pull it up. It's something very different, to be honest. Like
Yeah, I
we
like
really
it
want to
though.
do something. Yeah,
It is a little bit
it's
different than I
fresh.
think most people would expect, but at the same
Yeah,
time, it's one of those things that's sick once you see it. All right,
yeah.
3, 2, 1,
Let's pull it up.
put it up. All right, live view. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's for me right off the bat, it has everything that you need and nothing that you don't, and that's exactly what you need on a landing page. You want it to be
yeah,
direct, and you want it to be extremely informative and quick to that. Don't
yep.
be verbose, and make sure that you're getting straight to the point. Because most of the time when people come to a landing page, you've got a few seconds to capture their attention and to kind of explain what you're all about. So this is amazing in that direction.
Yep. Now we just need to figure out what URL we use for this landing page. Do we call it landing.flash.trade? Do we call it? I don't know, what do we call it as of now.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah, that's a tough one. Oh, because we had beasts before. That's right. Because it was
Mm.
flash trade, and then it
Mm.
was beasts. Okay. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
trying to think, I'm like, "What did we use before?" Alright.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. We're gonna have to figure that one out for sure,
Yep.
but that's a beauty.
Yep. And yeah, next thing was the listing of ore. I've been posting about it a lot on my feed because a lot of people DM'd me and a lot of people questioned me on this, that listing such a new pair which is going up only might have bad consequences on the exchange, or LPs might have very bad performance. But that's what I wanted to prove, and just reiterate on this thing, that Flash's liquidity pools work flawlessly, and they have been outperforming their underlying assets every time. Like you can check every FLP pool, including the newest ore pool. They've all successfully outperformed their underlying markets, which basically gives you this conclusion that if you are holding spot, you might lose, and if you put in money in any of the FLP pools that you are aligned with, you'll make more money than that, and you'll get interesting voltage points as well. But yeah, at the end of the day, market making with FLP has been very profitable irrespective of the market conditions, be it downwards or upwards. LPs have been making money, and we have like a consistent track record of more than a year of people actually outperforming the markets. So we are very happy with that, and we are looking to accelerate this phenomenon and have different pools and try to incorporate more assets under the same pool, which is where the V2 comes in with an interesting mechanism called flexible lock utilization, where different assets back collateralize different assets according to their correlation, and then this basically allows more utilization of the same assets in the pool. So yeah, very happy with the performance of ore. And even now, if we check the ore's FLP price, the LP tokens price, it's like up by 38%, although ore's price is up by 30%. So you are up on your LP position rather than if you held it on spot. So yeah, very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually said market maker too. Just because I know some people, they just say like LP pool or LPing or anything in it, but really, like you say, when it comes down to the simplest way, it is kind of you're the market maker, you're the other
Yep.
opposite side of the trade. So,
Yeah.
and then I wanted to show, I was going to show here. If you are looking for this information, here's the Dune dashboard. We're going to have it linked everywhere again, just in our Discord. We'll
Can we
probably
get it
do,
up in the dark mode? This is on the light mode. Okay,
yeah,
if you log in, you might be getting.
I was about to say, if I logged in, I have to do this. Otherwise you see my,
No, it's no worries.
permission view.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
this
I
is
have all the edit access. It doesn't let me
yeah,
view it otherwise. But yeah, this is the dashboard. I mean, we've got everything here from, total, pool revenue to LP revenue to open interest and long, current actually open interest on longs and shorts. But you've really got every, you can even adjust by time. This is again, because I'm not logged in. You can even adjust by time frame, which is very nice. We've got the FAF token all laid out for you. Our highest performing pool, FLP1, is right here. So you can actually see the full breakdown against BTC, Sol, and ETH. So that's really nice. And then, of course, we've got our liquidation map just added. And then trading volume per pool. This is very cool. And you can, of course, you can filter things out. You can do whatever you like with all the data. So just wanted to highlight that in case you were kind of wondering where we got that information.
yeah. And thanks to Janitor for getting up
Oh,
the Dune
yep.
dashboard. Yeah.
Yep. But the next thing is we are trying to make sure that we're expanding into APAC, so we're obviously in discussions with super teams and local teams there in current countries. So just one of them I wanted to highlight was Super Team Japan. We really appreciate the teamwork that you all have done, and then of course our Hartley has been hard at work making sure that we're getting in there and providing them with what they need, and then of course be able to do a little bit there with Super Team Japan. So I just wanted to say we did get that done this week also. Moving on to what is coming. Well, first off, just before we get into any of that, obviously Magic Blocks is one of those here that is coming, and Margin Engine V2. But those in we keep saying the what, but how is this going to benefit the trader? Why is this so important? What will they experience from their end? Kind of like walk us through what you envision / what will happen with this kind of duopoly between Margin Engine coming in and then Magic Blocks.
Yep. So yeah, with Margin Engine, it's more on the direction of expanding the offering with what the exchange can offer. Right now, we were limited to markets, listing markets, and the size of the markets. And with P2, we'll basically open up the number of markets that we can trade on Flash effortlessly as well. So I think I'm more excited on the funding side of things, where this new introduction of funding mechanism will change the dynamics of Flash. Before people, we did get a lot of complaints on the margin fees that people had to pay when they try to keep their positions open. But with the new funding mechanism, it would basically work based on the open interest skew. So if the skew is more on the long side, people opening a shorts on Flash would essentially get paid from the longs, and this will basically attract more open interest on Flash. So that is a very interesting feature that we are looking to add. Apart from that, talking about the magic blocks thing, it's basically what every exchange in a decentralized exchange is working on, basically making things as fast as possible and making things much more efficient. That is like gasless trading, and then there is no latency as we speak, and then the transactions per second as well. So if we were to talk in the numbers, like, since we've been talking with them, so what the current numbers under testing right now is like, we have seen more than 20,000 to 50. It's a range basically, although it's a very big range. It's between 20 to 50,000 TPS, which is essentially needed for people to push in all those trades every second. And then it's around latency. And the interesting thing about latency is like, it's something that people are selling here and there, but if you are able to co-locate your market making bot with the validator that magic blocks client is being run on, you
Hmm.
essentially won't have any latency itself. And then and for normal users, they would have the same latency that they get on centralized exchange. So that is what the crux of things are at. And while with all these features, it's all decentralized, it's all on chain, and there is
Hmm.
no trust assumptions of bridging any asset or trusting any third party. So
Exactly.
yeah, that is what things are at. So yeah,
That's
anything to
amazing.
add? So you've been quite a lot because I've been working since morning, but yeah.
Yeah, great shout out to the Magic Blocks team for facilitating a lot of our feature requests and working on those. So, quite a productive session for sure. We kind of charted out a lot more possible ways of overcoming the current limitations we have. And yeah, couldn't be more excited to put all of them to work. And one of the most important thing that we have requested is to kind of just optimize the commit structure, basically communicating between the ER and mainnet.
Mm.
So they literally got a full-time engineer to kind of ship out the feature as fast as possible. It was just a month ago in Mumbai that we met and discussed, and the team has been like shipping at uh, lightning speeds. So that's super interesting to see, and I think we'll have a lot more like getting done over the week and have some great news to share. While we too is actively worked on, and yeah, Martin Engineer continues to improvise and monitor the whole QA testing environment we have for the V2 rollout. So yeah, quite some good stuff coming together.
Awesome. Yeah, that's I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of stuck out of the loop. I'm feeling lonely over here on this side of the world. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to hear all the updates and everything. I know it's just the first day and there's so much more that's going to go into it, but so much to look
Yeah.
forward to. From the user's perspective, I mean, it's centralized exchange speed on
I think
chain,
it's
which
better
is
than
amazing.
centralized exchange speed. Yeah, it's better than centralized exchange speed. It's basically, you won't have any difference when you're trading on Flash or when you're trading on Binance. So yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So, and then what else are we bringing on chain? We're doing 24/5 stocks, major indices, and
Yep.
metals. Of course, we've gone over that last week, but we've got a
Yep.
lot in the pipeline. There's just a lot of backlog and things that we are trying to get to. Wait a minute, we got comments here. I'm slacking.
Sure.
What are these? let's
I think
make
it's
sure we're not
someone who's
missing.
asking for an affiliate. Yeah, we don't have any affiliate badges.
Yep, no affiliate. Of course, there's one. There's always got to be one. And then, of course, we're exploring prop AMM pools with Romero assets. Where's that at, by the way? That's kind of on the back
Uh,
burner, of course,
yeah,
for the moment.
basically, we built one pool for them, which is a definite pool, and they are trying to test around it. A strategy that makes them market make those assets on spot much more efficiently. So like we shipped it. I think last week we shipped that pool which Remora asked, so that they can test and then have a better understanding of how FLB pools work to spot market make. But yeah,
Mm,
we are hear from them. They did ask for a few days for them to come up with an understanding of how the pool markets make, and then how much money they want to put into it. So it's a very interesting angle where Flash is basically providing a prop AMM pool for anyone to provide liquidity and market make for their spot assets.
yep. But why did they choose that specific route over I guess my question, and I know the audience would be asking, is like, why did they choose that over like Radium or any other ones? And I know there's a
Yes.
reason. I just want you to
Yeah, that's very important actually. So the problem with a normal AMM or an even DLMM pool is when you are listing any real world assets, the price discovery happens off chain where the majority of liquidity is. So imagine if you're talking about SPY, there's trillions of dollars of volume that's happening off chain on Nasdaq or any other ICE exchange. And here is where the price is just delayed, and there is a 500 millisecond delay. So the problem with these Radium or Orca or Meteora pools is these prices are always catching up with the real price that's happening off chain. And that's where LPs will be eating a lot of impermanent loss because of this catching up game that happens.
Mhm.
But at Flash, because we use Oracle based pricing, we essentially don't have any of those catch up games. We just price it at the right price where they are at that second,
Yep.
or even half a second, to be honest. So that's how the pools are much more efficient to quote any asset if anyone wants to trade. And at the end of the day, market making is a game of quoting as fast as possible at the nearest bid, and then not getting eaten up with an information that you don't have an edge on. So that's how the FLP pools are outperforming as well, because they are quoting it very well enough versus the market, and then won't be getting any flow that is toxic against it. And then if you are serving normal flows, then you would be profitable, because markets work like that, and there is fees associated with it, and then there is PNL that people make win or lose against the pools. So yeah, it essentially acts as a general market maker, and that's how the pools scale, and that's how we foresee things happening. And these pools work very well with real world assets, because that's how they are built, where you have the spot asset which represents that real world asset, and then
Mhm.
you are quoting it at the exact price which it's trading at. You are not pushing the curve to match the price. So AMM pools and DLM pools, they work based off a curve where you move assets, where you essentially have to buy or sell to move that uh, asset to the price on that curve. But here,
Mhm.
since it's all Oracle based, it's always instant, and it's always at that exact price that it should be at. So yeah, that is how the prop AMMs at FL, powered by Flash, would be working. And yeah,
Yes.
and the next thing is also the spot order book integration by
Man.
Manifest. This is underworks because Manifest at its core is very, it's an open source order book, and then they don't have specific libraries to compose or build UIs. They are kind of still like nascent, but we are in touch with the team, and they are basically adding some more features so that it's very easy for protocols like us can build UIs on the Manifest order book. And then the
Mm.
most interesting feature of Manifest is basically for any pair, any asset, anyone can deploy an order book and place their limit orders, and these limit orders would get filled just because the club is basically integrated into Titan and DFlow. So if there
Mm.
is any flow coming in at that price, your order will get executed, and it's free of cost. So it's phenomenal tech, to be honest, and very underrated as we speak. So we are looking forward to add this order book on Flash and make things much more basically free for anyone to put orders on chain. So yeah.
Super awesome. The that's definitely underrated for sure. People are overlooking here at Flash Trade. The last thing is just Forex pairs. I know we were talking about Degen Mode, but we're also with Margin Engine V2 definitely gonna. I mean, not just Margin Engine V2. I mean, honestly, because it's virtual, but we're looking to add more Forex pairs. I think that's just one of those.
Yes. So the issue that raised was, Japanese yen, and the uh, Chinese yen as well,
Mhm.
RMB. Both of these assets are inverted pairs. They are quoted inversely. So our engine works in a different way where USD is always in the denominator terms.
Mhm.
So we have to do some changes in the stuff to make that happen. So we are basically waiting for V2 to be shipped, and then we'll go ahead and add these tokens on
Yep.
Flash. And then the idea is to basically open up Degen trading on these, and already the fees has been very low on the forex market. So we will look forward to make things happen in that direction. Along with funding, it would become much more cheaper to trade these pairs, forex pairs on Flash. So yeah, I think I'm seeing a question here. I'm just gonna check it out.
Yeah, I was about to ask you to answer that.
Just- Okay, so it's the question is basically, can you list any asset which does not have any oracle, and how do you choose an oracle? So yeah, this is essentially the way every perps markets work. Every perp market needs a spot market to be live, and for us as well, we need an spot market to be live so that prices can be derived from the spot market, and that's how the perpetuals, the leverage trading works, because you need an essential place for price discovery to happen. Price discovery can never happen on perps, because perps is a derivative product, to be honest, because it's derived from a spot uh, pricing engine.
Yep.
So that is how we are basically dependent on an oracle for any asset to be traded on Flash. And I think, and every exchange is like that. And the next question is, how do you choose an oracle? We basically are fully powered by Pith. Pith is one of the best oracle services out there, because they have direct links to pretty much every on chain or off chain feed. So imagine if we are talking example of SPY. So they derive the price from Nasdaq itself, like the first source, and they don't even derive from one exchange. They derive from at least 60 exchanges and give you an aggregated price of from that. So that
Yeah.
aggregated price becomes very reliable, because you don't have any way to you know basically move the price at one place and then come and try to take advantage from that price movement, because the more the price is aggregated, the harder it is to mess with it. And that's how Flash has been able to offer more than 100x leverage. Now we have 500x leverage just because of those, the aggregation tech that works behind. So you want to take something, want to say something?
Yeah, I think the point Igor is trying to make from the comment that I see that he
Mhm.
understands that oracles need to exist and you derive margin from it, but without funding mechanism, we are directly trading the actual price. Well, one of the biggest reasons over there is funding was introduced as a concept to make sure that the matching price on the derivatives book, which is a perps book, matches up with the actual spot price. And if there's a deviation, because you could literally have market makers trying to match at a price that does not directly correlate to the markets moving on the spot side. And that is the reason funding was introduced. For us, it's inverse. Even when we talk of funding, the idea behind that is to have an implied funding rate, which doesn't really depend on deviation from Oracle, because We are an Oracle-based exchange. It is more on the end of trying to balance out the open interest. So longs and shorts. Um, when you have an order book-based exchange, uh, the OIs match up instantly. You don't worry about that, because for every long there has to be a short. So it is neutral on the market's end by default. But for Flash, like the kind of Oracle based derivative exchange that we run, there you don't really have that advantage. The OIs are not balanced. The pool, being the default counterparty, is always exposed to this risk, which is why aggregated prices become a major risk management system for us. Like without proper aggregation, one single market can be manipulated. All of it ties together. Like having an aggregated Oracle source, it also enables us to list assets with up to 500x leverage. Imagine opening a position with 500x leverage on an order book. Every market maker is going to come after you. They're going to push the price. They're going to liquidate you and then go back to the implied spot. And that's where the whole idea of us being a straight uh, order book based, or employing an order book based pricing engine comes in from. And that's a powerful primitive altogether. We've seen the resilience back from the days that GMX started, and now we see a lot of teams pioneering and improving on those designs. So that's just my 2 cents added on to the idea.
Amazing. And this is all thanks to the manifest, huh? And then who I think that was a NASA's discovery, which is pretty cool. Because that's just open source.
Yes, and yeah, I got one more thing that I would just want to add is like we've been working on V2 for the past year and trying to get all the inspiration from all the exchanges that are live in prod, and even our exchange being live in prod for more than, I think it's been 22 months since we are live, almost coming to a 2 year anniversary for V1. We have taken our inspiration and taken a lot of learnings from how things work from our experience in prod,
Yeah.
and just working in the direction of how best we can improve things, and then introduce some very revolutionary concepts that open up a new market dynamic for trading perps on chain.
And one thing I want to add just really quickly from the pleb side is that everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face, and production is getting punched in the face. So anybody can say a bunch of stuff. You could be like the coolest whiz bang thing, but then when they push it into production, it's totally different. Or they just don't ever ship in the first place. Flash trade is a tried true, and I apologize, I'm coming to our defense here, but tried true and tested product that's already live in production, and we're it's not just words on Twitter. So, but do that what you will. Anything else to add here, gentlemen, as we close out Flash Hour? Thank you to the 257 people watching us here. If you don't mind, drop us a like, comment, and of course, share this out with as many people as you know to get them the good news of Magic Blocks and Margin Engine V2 coming out here soon.
Yep. I think that's it. We are fully logged in Dubai right now with all the teams working in parallel to ship the fastest exchange that is gonna be prod ready. So yeah, fully logged in to on the mission.
Yeah, glad to hear it. Yeah, they're locked into a room right now. We've thrown away the key. They have 2 weeks to ship an alpha, and if they don't, we burn it all down. Just kidding, of course. Let's see, Zahib, did you have anything to end off with or leave the audience with?
Not much else, but yeah, keep an eye out for V2 as well. So it's like two things lurking around the corner. So yeah, all engines fired up, and we're throttling towards the final releases on all fronts.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to make it. Let's go. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Just do a little outro. Thank you, gentlemen. So everybody who is still here, we greatly appreciate you watching Flash Hour. As you've just heard, we are absolutely cooking. Okay. Magic Blocks is with us. We're with Magic Blocks. We're locked into a room. We're ready to go. This will be a crescendo that will be one for the ages if we can pull this off. This is, the culmination of two teams that are absolute chads that are making sure we deliver on the promises that we've made. We've got a lot of things coming down the pipeline. We greatly appreciate your support. Of course, anything, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Follow us on X, which is probably the most important. If you're watching on YouTube, I know that's a brand new channel for you, or for us, I should say. We also have an Instagram. Just saying. More ways to follow and support. But then, again, thank you guys so much. Just wanted to share this one last time. If you guys are wondering where we get our data from, this is, a Dune dashboard that we created for anyone who wanted to dig a little bit deeper. And of course, one thing I'd love to hear from you all is what's missing. What more would you like to see? We'd be more than happy to add it to our Dune dashboard. We do have Top Ledger. We do our monthly reports. We try to stay as open and transparent as possible. And if you have any further questions, jump into the Discord. We're very active there. We're more than happy to answer any questions that you have. And don't forget, if you're staking FAF, register on Discord so you can be a part of the private group there. And then, of course, you don't have to register and you don't have to have FAF to be involved with the VP program. The voltage points, you can just register. You don't have to have FAF staked. So you can still, at the end of the epoch, you still get all the benefits. Obviously, FAF stakers get a little bit more. I think it's about 2x more voltage points. But hey, you're already on the platform. You're already making trades. You're providing liquidity. Maybe you're even using FLP on one of our partners that also provide voltage points. Make sure that at the end of the epoch, you get your share of the pie. So make sure that happens there. Anything else from you guys, of course, I'll see you in Discord and on X. And like always, traders, I'll see you in the markets.